Alrighty, everybody, we are live. Very excited to see you all with me tonight. Let's just do some housekeeping here, and I'm going to make sure I update the time on the event because I don't like it when I forget to do that and then I've got to start inviting people all over again because Facebook will not allow us to do recurring events through their events. So we need to update the time of the event to the next day within a few hours of it starting. Otherwise, we are in trouble and we won't be able to do it, and nobody will get invited tomorrow. And that's terrible. And let me capture that stream as well and post it inside of the event group because, again, it doesn't actually tell people like when we're actually live. It only notifies people an hour before, which is kind of strange, I think. So, but tonight we are going to have a really fun night. We're going to, now, can I actually get this to load? Ah, well, that's interesting. Maybe not. Tonight we're going to be going through mantras, and we're going to have fun tonight with this. Let's see, I'm trying to get the stream to load, guys. Would you all pray for me right now? Oh, that will work. Thank you for sharing that. That actually gave me a share link. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate that. If you hadn't have just done that, I wouldn't have ended up with that link to the video, which I can now post over here in the group. We are live. Oops, my Wii vanished. All right, housekeeping is done. Thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Now we're going to talk psychology tonight. This is not about positive thinking. We're not going to be saying I'm a trillionaire, but we are going to be reprogramming our subconscious. Tony Robbins likes to explain it like this. Positive thinking is like saying that there are no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds in your garden, but actually the way life works is you need to get in the garden and pull the weeds, right? And so our mind, though, responds to the stimuli that it receives. And that's why we're all so screwed up, right? Because most of us, we aren't very discerning in the input that we allow to get into our head. One of the worst forms of input is what we hear from other people. So we might hear negative things from our peers. We may be hearing negative things from our parents. Now, some of you that know my story, I heard a lot of negative things growing up. I have this little gnat flying around me right here. I'm trying to get it in a position where I can squat it, but sorry for all you Buddhists out there. But the person that is usually the most negative in our whole life is ourselves. And so mastering our self-talk is truly important if we want to be successful, whatever it is in life. I'm going to get that little rascal. Then we need to be really careful of our self-talk. I'm no good. Oh, I'm lazy. I'm just not very intelligent. I'm tired all the time. I don't feel like this negative self-talk programs our subconscious. So I've said before that we don't see the world the way it is. We see the world the way we are. So we have lenses that we see the world through, and they become colored by all the things we believe about ourselves. And that is our self-esteem. It's our worldview. And what we need to do is we need to change the lenses in our glasses. We need to change the way that we see the world. So I have very mild myopia. Thank goodness my lenses are not that thick. They're pretty thin, but I still need them. I still need them. I don't like not having perfect vision. It frustrates me. So I go to the optometrist and he checks my eyes and he creates a pair of lenses that enable me to see things in clearer detail. when I put them on, all of a sudden the world is better. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a new pair of glasses tonight to start seeing your world through. Okay? And these are mantras. Now, I was talking to a person that had been in the church a long time 2 days ago. And we were going through some coaching stuff. Actually, sorry, no, it was last night. And I usually do my live streams based on things that are currently coming into my life. Why? Because I know that if I'm dealing with them right now, then lots of other people are too. And it just makes it easy for me that I don't have to come up with too many different things because I just look at what's going on in life. That little rat bag, it just like, can you buzz off? Okay. So what we're going to do is, I've never had to do this on a live stream before. I'm usually doing this in a coaching session one-on-one with somebody, and I'm asking them a lot of very specific questions to go through their story. It's very hard for me to do that in this environment and get all of your responses because the responses can be very personal. So we're going to do our best here though to achieve that. And so I want to ask you some questions. And I want you to think about these and I want you to write them down. And then we're going to start to formulate some mantras. And we're going to keep this really short and simple. We're not going to go too deep. It's very difficult, as I said, over a live stream like this. And even though there's kind of a two-way communication where you can leave comments and things, it's not really that great. Now, let me see if I can bring up all of the comments. It looks like we've only got 4 comments. All right, so I'm not missing out on any. Okay, great. And I'm glad you got the notification. So that's awesome. So I want you to ask yourself this question. What job would you like to have? How would you like to be earning your income? And I'm pausing intentionally, not because I have nothing to say to you. I'm pausing because I want you to think about these things for real. There's no point in just listening to my live streams. These are practical. I want to help you. I want to coach you. I want to walk you through things. I want to help you break through in life. That's going to require participation. All right. So it's not just listening, going, oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I liked how he talked about it. No, you need to do this stuff, right? Otherwise, quite honestly, there's no point in you being here tonight. You can just turn this off, go do something else. But if you're to watch this tonight, then we want to do something practical. So, what kind of job would you really like? And I guess I should write these down myself, so let me just do that. And ask the questions because I'm going to have to go back over them. This mic is, let me see if I can position it more over here instead. All right. So, what kind of job would you like? What kind of job would you like? How would you like to earn your income? All right. Not entirely the same question. Some people like me just couldn't stand a job. How would you like to earn income? Think about these things. How would you like your relationships to be? How would you like your relationships in life to be? With your parents, siblings, co-workers, your employer, your employees, your spouse. Maybe you're single, you don't want to be. How would you like your relationships to be? So I want you guys to be seriously thinking about this. This is not, I'm not being slow here. This is very intentional, okay? You've got to really, really think about these things right now. And I did say you need pen and paper, so you're going to need that in a second. Where would you like to live? Where would you like to live? How much energy would you like? Trying to touch type. How did I do? Not very well. Kind of. Did okay. How would you like, how much energy would you like to have? What are you most passionate about? What are you most passionate about? Think about that. What are you most passionate about? I want to see how many people are watching. Refresh the page. Not many, but all the right people. Thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. I know some of you have only just come in. Tonight we're going to create a mantra. We're going to reprogram the mind. Let me have a few more questions here before we kind of talk about this a little bit more. What would you like to improve most in your life? And so you can see here, I didn't have any notes prepared. I like to be extemporaneous, but which is just a fancy word for I just like to ad lib. I don't really prepare a whole lot. My preparation is up here, so I hope that's okay. What would you like to improve most in your life? What is your biggest weakness? What is your biggest weakness? What is your biggest weakness? Okay, so you're starting to get some idea. The cogs are starting to turn a little bit. You're starting to think about these things. And as you're thinking about these things, it's going to help your subconscious to start thinking about the solution, the way that we resolve these issues, the way that we make them what we want to be. And so your subconscious already is doing this. It's very fascinating, isn't it? Your subconscious is very powerful. What we're doing here is we're going to manipulate your subconscious. Now, the word manipulate is often used as a negative word, but it's not a negative word. Is a receipt. I'm manipulating the receipt. Is that good or bad? Is that evil? Is what I'm doing bad right now? No. No, I'm just manipulating it. So you can manipulate something for good or bad. It comes from the word malleable, which is used most often in metallurgy, describing soft metals and their ability to bend. Right? So we want to manipulate our subconscious. Why? Because we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Therefore, if we can brainwash ourselves with what we choose to brainwash ourselves with, if we can reprogram, if you don't like that word, our subconscious, then we get to transform the world around us. We start here and everything we see starts to change. You know, we see this all the time. You go to a car dealership and you buy a car and you buy the latest, you know, Lexus IS250. And you've never really noticed an IS250 before. You haven't really seen them before, but you know, you go to the dealership and it's like, wow, this is great. Medium-sized car. It's got all the Lexus mod cons in it. It's a really solid car. I like this. Okay. So you drive out with this beautiful, you know, dark red Lexus IS250. Now, I've never owned a Lexus. I'm just making a name up. So, although the IS250, I know what that is. Nice car. Now, what happens when you drive that car off the lot and you start going home and you start driving it around town, going to work, running your errands? Isn't it true that you start to see Lexus IS250s everywhere? They're everywhere now. What on earth happened? Suddenly everybody just went out and bought all this certain model of Lexus. Isn't that strange? But that's how our subconscious works. What you focus on expands. All right? So if you're going to put your gaze on something and you're in motion, then what's going to happen? Well, that thing is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We're always moving through life, right? There's always some kind of activity, hopefully progress as well, that is occurring. We need to fix our gaze on what we want to see, and then we'll see it. I'm probably going to repeat this a bunch of times because I think it's good. The world is not the way you see it. The world is the way you are, and that's all there is to it. So you've encountered those people that are incredibly pessimistic, cynical about everything. Hey, I'm a professional network marketer. I run into those people every day, right? There's so many. It's unbelievable, right? Oh, it's a scam, pyramid, whatever. And then you run into the opposite kind of person who's so positive. And I've got a friend like that. Her name is Melise Kish. My God, it doesn't matter what happens. There's a positive aspect to it. Melissa will find it and she'll just start going on about it. How can you have two different people that are seeing the same things two completely different ways? Because you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. So what do you want the world to look like? That's got to be the focus. And you can reprogram your subconscious to focus on those things. And as you do, your world will change. It's phenomenal, but it's true. This is not about wishful thinking. This is not about positive thinking. This is about understanding human psychology and how the brain works. And the brain works in a way that is malleable. You can manipulate it. You can choose to manipulate it. So when you look at, Fortune 500 company CEOs and you look at what they spend their days doing, and then you look at a factory line worker and you look at what they spend their days doing outside of their occupation, the CEO and the factory worker spend their time in radically different ways. Generalizing, of course, but the factory worker is going to go home. He's going to watch 4 to 5 hours of TV, drink a 6-pack of beer, and go to bed. The CEO is going to go to the gym. He's going to eat an extremely healthy meal. Doesn't mean it's expensive. He's not going to watch any TV. He's going to work on his projects. He's going to spend time building relationships with his spouse, with his children. It's not that Fortune 500 CEOs suddenly do those things once they're a CEO. Oh, well, that's what a CEO has to do. No, they got to that position because of the choices they made in their life when they weren't working, right? You can do that too. You can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. You can have anything you want to have in life, provided you start making two things, provided you have the right mindset and you start making the right activity. You start taking massive action. Tonight we're focusing on the first one, mindset. And the bedrock of mindset is your self-esteem. It's how you view yourself. If you don't have a high opinion of yourself, life's going to be hard, okay? So what we want to do is we want to look at these things that we just wrote down, and we want to create a mantra based around these things. And I think the best I can do is give you an example of this, because I don't want you to start putting stuff in the chat, because it'll be personal, okay? But let's take a look at some of the stuff that you have written down. Well, you haven't written down anything now, but now we're going to start writing things down. But the ideas that came to your mind when we started talking about those things. Let me bring my notepad where I was typing all that in. So what kind of job do you like? What kind of job would you like, rather? Okay. Let's say you want a job that offers you time freedom. You want a job that offers you a great income. All right? I just realized something. No, it's all good. I didn't update my scrolly text for tonight, so I was making sure it didn't actually have tonight's topic in there. I could update it right now, couldn't I? Let me do that. Tonight's topic is the power of mantras. Update that. You'll see that flow past in a second. Cool technology, huh? All right, so what kind of job would you like, and how much money would you like to make? How would you like to earn income? So I want you to think of these answers, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn these answers into your mantra, and we're going to keep them real short and simple. We may not do every single one of these things we wrote down here. But if any of you are serious about this kind of stuff and you want to really take things to the next level, I'd love to personally coach you, all right? The way we do that is free, but you must be a part of the Liberty Business Network. And there are entrepreneurs that are in that are 18 to 35 that are in the Liberty Movement, and if you are one of those people, then I would like to coach you for free, regardless of whether you're in the LBN, the Liberty Business Network. So let's say you want to be a manager responsible for other people and earn a substantially greater income than what you are now. Okay, what would it take to be a manager? Well, you're going to have to learn some leadership skills. You're going to have to be a good manager, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to write a few simple short words that our brain is going to pick up and run with. So let's do that right now. So with your pen and paper, and obviously with your example, you're going to do this with your example, not with mine, but you're going to follow along the same guidelines. This should be real simple. So I'm going to write here, I am a diligent, well-loved, honorable manager. There we go. We'll just leave it at that. I am a diligent, well-loved, honorable manager. You say, well, I'm not a manager yet. No, but we're going to get there because what we focus on expands. All right. So we're going to change our glasses first. So what kind of job would you like? I want to be a manager. Great. I am a diligent, well-loved, honorable manager. What did you choose? Something else, probably different. So using the same thing there, perhaps you want to use the exact same words I have. I am a diligent, well-loved, honorable what? Okay, write it down. Literally, pen and paper. If you don't have it, get it now. Or find something. Maybe you've got a computer in front of you like me and type it in. I am a diligent, well-loved, honorable what? Okay. How's this? Is this making sense to you guys? If this is making sense to you guys, wow, we lost a lot of people. I guess this is not for everybody tonight. That's all right. If you like this, give me a thumbs up so I know you're alive. Next one. Let's see. Next one. What would you... I'll leave the income one out. Let's see. How would you like your relationships to be? How would you like your relationships to be? So you've thought about that already. Let's say you were married. And since I'm a man, I'll use the man's side of it. Let's say I want to be a great husband, right? What am I going to write here? I might write something like this. First of all, I might write, I love my wife. Right? Now, this you think this is real simple. It's not rocket science. No, of course it's not. Our brains are very powerful, but at times they're very stupid, just in the way that they're very flexible. We can reprogram our brains. And if you've listened to some of the stuff I've talked about on the brain, then, you know, there's a lot scientists don't want us to know about the brain. For example, there's no memory traces in the brain. Memories are not stored up here. We used to think that. Neurologists that are on the, researching neurologists have known this a long time, about 15 years. It's kind of one of those unspoken things in the sciences. Because if memories are not stored in memory traces in the brain, where are they? So I don't think that we're actually affecting your brain. I think we're actually affecting who you are. You've seen that bumper sticker. I am a spiritual being having a human experience, not a human being having a spiritual experience. That's not clever. That's true. That's accurate. That's how the universe is wired. Right? I love my wife. What else would you put there? You know what women love? The feeling of being loved. They want to know that they are loved, right? I love my wife. I show my wife daily how much I love her. Wow, that's easy, right? Now, we could write a whole paragraph on your relationship with your wife. The mantras that I use every day, I've got them right here. Let's see here. All right. They're really long, so it's really, really long. And I do this every day, and I tweak them all the time. So this is just a starting point for you, but I hope that it will be a starting point for you. How would you like your relationships to be? I love my wife. I show my wife daily how much I love her. Maybe you're single. Let's do one for single guys, all right, or single girls. So let's say you're single, because I know a lot of people watching this will be single. What would you write if you're single? You might write something like this. I am an honorable mate that attracts honorable women into my life. I am an honorable mate that attracts honorable women into my life. Women, you can just replace that with men. All right? Now you may think, come on, this ain't going to do anything. Well, why don't you go try it and see? Because it will. It really will. This stuff works, okay? This is legit. This is psychology. This is not the power of positive thinking, although that's great too. But this is at a very base level, understanding how our consciousness is wired and how we can reprogram it to achieve the ends we want. Where would you like to live? Let's skip that one. How much energy would you like to have? Well, I'm in the health and wellness business, and I'm dealing with people all the time. Tiaki, you stinker. Oh, I cannot believe you. Ah, gross. That was gross. What do I do with you? How much energy would you like to have? So let's say you don't have a lot of energy. Here's one you can use for the morning. What about this? I wake up filled with vibrant energy and a passion for life. I wake up filled with vibrant energy and a passion for life. Did you know that if you say that every morning, that every day you're going to get more and more, you're going to get closer and closer to that being an absolutely undeniably true fact, that you simply wake up with vibrant energy and a passion for life, right? Is it making sense to you guys? You like this? So write that down. There's not many people, 10 people watching us tonight. Oh well. I appreciate all of you that are watching tonight. And I know that all the right people are watching my stream tonight. I hope this is really adding value to your lives tonight. Okay, what are you most passionate about? Let's say you're most passionate about your kids. Well, maybe we'd write something like this. I spend quality time outside the home exploring nature with our children. Ooh. See, now as we begin to think on these things start to happen. So you say, well, I'm not really spending any quality time outside the home exploring nature with our children right now. Nope. But if you keep saying it, you will. You won't have a choice. It's just going to start to happen. You're going to be so motivated to go do it because you're telling yourself, this is who I am. I spend quality time outside the home exploring nature with our children. And if you tell yourself that, you're going to do it a whole lot more. Right? What would you like to improve most in your life? What is your biggest weakness? We'll just make that, we'll combine those two tonight. What is your biggest weakness? Let's say you go out and you drink way too much on the weekends and you hate yourself for it. You don't like to do it. And you're even wondering, if I'm an alcoholic, I spend $60, $70 every night I go out. It's expensive. What? So let's say you wanted to conquer that. And I'm going to use this as a classic example. Let's say we'd write something like this. Now pay attention, please. I no longer, some of you that know me are already, you're on to me already. I no longer go out drinking on Friday nights. Would that be a good thing to say? No, that would not be a good thing for you to say, right? Because let me explain how our consciousness works when we start to say things like this. Our consciousness really has a hard time understanding the idea of no. So when we say, I no longer go out drinking on Friday nights, your subconscious is really hearing, I go out and drink on Friday nights. And every time you say that, you're going to continue to reinforce a negative in your life. But no, but I'm saying I'm not going to, yeah, okay, I get that. And that's what you mean. But your subconscious, decades and decades of understanding how these practices work have taught us that our brains don't get it like that. Okay? So I wrote that wrong intentionally. So what would we write? If we don't want to go out on Friday nights, what would it be? We might do something like this. I am wise with the money I spend on weekends and the people I spend time with. Right? Does that sound better? Because what's going to happen now? Every time you start to go out or get these ideas about drinking, your subconscious is going to go, wait a minute. I am wise with the money I spend on weekends and the people I spend time with. Oh. And so you create a conflict. And as you continue to tell yourself who you really are, then these bad habits, these things that are very difficult to deal with if you try to confront them, like by saying you don't do them. So what we're doing here is simply replacing an old idea with a replacement idea, a new idea, a better idea. We don't want to worry about what you're doing now. We want to worry about, we want to be concerned about what we do want to be doing. Right? So for how many people is this helping? Is this making sense? Is this really helping you right now? We've lost another one. 9 people watching. I don't care. Oh, someone's saying, I read your mind. Well, I didn't, but I do believe in something that Rupert Sheldrake, an amazing scientist, has given a lot of thought to, and he's coined the term morphic resonance. Basically how the way that everything is interconnected. He believes it's very scientific, right? So, appreciate all the thumbs up and the likes now. I really like that. Thank you. And of course, if you think this is good, if you like this, if you think this might help somebody in your family, your peers, your siblings, somebody you know on your friends list, by all means, share it. Please share my stuff to libertarian groups. Love it when you do that. But as you begin to formulate these mantras, they begin to reprogram your subconscious. Let's take a look at these. I'm going to reorder them. Let's say, oh, gosh, Texas. That's a tiny bug. There's some big bugs here. Let's say you wake up in the morning. Before you get out of bed, we start off with this one. You sit on the edge of your bed. I wake up filled with vibrant energy and a passion for life. But you got to mean it, guys. You can't say, I wake up filled with vibrant energy and passion for life. No, that's not going to help, right? I am an honorable mate that attracts honorable women into my life. I love my wife. I show my wife daily how much I love her. I am a diligent, well-loved, honorable manager. I spend quality time outside the home exploring nature with our children. I am wise with the money I spend on weekends and the people I spend time with. Is this giving you some kind of a track to run on? Has this helped you to see how you could now begin to create these for any area of your life? Now, there's going to be a lot of people, especially my peers in the liberty movement, that are going to be these ultra logical, rational people. And so am I. I'm an ENTP, for Pete's sake. That are going to look at these things. Oh my God, what's Israel doing? Oh, this is just gobbledygook. Look at what this guy is doing. You know, somebody should go post it like on, I guess Ron Paul Forums doesn't exist anymore. Whatever replaced that. Look at Israel, this weirdo. Go do that. I'd love the publicity. There's no such thing as bad news. But hopefully this is giving you some tracks to run on. Now you can look at the things in your life and go, well, what are the top 3 things that you'd like to see changed in your life? I want to quit smoking. Well, don't say, I'm quitting smoking, right? We don't want to mention the word smoking. You might want to say, I only breathe in that which serves me. All right? I like that word a lot. If you're ever, for lack of a word, in creating these kinds of mantras, think of the word serve. So I use this word a fair bit. Does it serve me? Hopefully this has really helped you tonight. I don't want to go into too much else because I don't want you to lose this from being fresh in your mind. But these can help you in absolutely tremendous ways. I want to share something. Actually, it was on the same note. So last night, I did a coaching session with one of our guys in the Liberty Business Network. And obviously, I'm not going to mention his name. But I spent some time asking him questions, and then I helped him build this list of 5 things, and then I encourage him to start adding his own. And what we do is we do a little check and balance to make sure he doesn't end up adding something like what was that one? I no longer go out drinking on Friday nights, right? I want to make sure, so we just keep them separate, and then we go over them, give him some coaching on those, and then we'll add them to his list, and he's going to start getting it, and he's going to start building up his own mantras that he's going to repeat in the morning, during the day, in the evening. And I'm going to read out some that I have. Like, I'll read out my evening mantra for you in just a second here, but this is what we built for him last night. I am an enthusiastic person. I live a life of purpose and passion. People value my wisdom. My energy encourages and inspires others. I am a great teacher and a phenomenal student. And these were all based on a conversation that we had where I had him just sharing where he was at in life with me. If you need this kind of one-on-one help, then reach out to me. I'd love to help you. Now, let me, because my own are not at the top of my notes here unless I have edited it in the last day or so because I make so many notes. All right, so here's my evening mantra. This is the mantra I use when I am ready to fall asleep. Tonight, I sleep wonderfully well. My mind is unwinding and slowing down. I am getting more tired by the second. My body will rest deeply and heal any problems. My dreams will guide me and show me new ideas. I will awake fully refreshed and ready to go. And now I am asleep. I am asleep. I am asleep. All right, I hope you didn't fall asleep during that. But this actually works. And I give this in, modified to some people for problems with insomnia. Somebody can't fall asleep. Then create a mantra that defies that lie that you can't fall asleep. It's just because that's the way you see yourself. People will say all the time, yeah, I'm an insomniac. I can never get to sleep. Well, guess what's going to happen if you continue to tell yourself that? You're going to be an insomniac that can't get to sleep. All right? And that's just always the way it's going to be. We don't want it to be that way. All right. I really hope this has helped you tonight. I really hope this has added value into your life tonight. And let me see. I'm just looking at your comments. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all, guys. Zach and Lynn and Kathleen. Kathleen, thank you for being on our stream tonight. I'm not sure I've seen you on a lot of the streams, maybe one before. And I'm not sure what EMDR therapy is, but that's good. Maybe you can tell me about that. Nora, and is it Cherie? And Brian and Darren. Look at you guys. Really appreciate you all so very much. Please share this. Please tag people below that you think might be helped by this, if it might add value to their lives. I really hope it added value to your life tonight. I really value your time immensely. My life is all about time freedom. So I understand very much the honor it is for you to come and spend 40 minutes with me. Thank you so very much. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow night. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.